You are listening to the 5 a.m. podcast, and today is your day. Welcome to another inspiring episode of the 5 a.m. podcast. I'm your host, Michael Klassen, and today we are thrilled to have with us a visionary in the AI automation space. After 15 years as a product leader, Aarti Anand made the bold decision to step away from the security of her corporate role to pursue a more meaningful path, one that prioritizes freedom of time, money, and location for her family of 3 children, her husband, and naturally, their 2 wonderful dogs as well. Now, building a business, as we know, is hard, and scaling it without burnout can be even harder. So Arty helps business owners leverage AI automations to automate the boring and repetitive tasks so they can have more time on their calendar to do the things that make them human. Now, as an AI first CEO, she's passionate about helping entrepreneurs automate the mundane to achieve massive growth while avoiding the burnout that comes all too often with scaling. Now, when she's not revolutionizing business workflows, you'll find her reading a good book and possibly exploring new technology. So today we'll explore how to leverage the automated intelligence, as I like to call it, to buy back your time, build a sustainable business, and create the life you truly want to live. And of course, a warm welcome to you, the viewers, as you listen and watch wherever that might be. A warm welcome to those listening on WDJY 99.1 FM in Atlanta, Georgia. Please consider sharing this with your friends. I know that many are going to enjoy and profit from this conversation. So a big thanks to those that have given us a 5-star review this week. And of course, our friends who've gone over to buymeacoffee.com/5am podcast. Thank you for those delicious virtual cups of coffee this week and last. We do appreciate all levels of support. And now, Arty, welcome to the 5am podcast.
Thank you, Michael. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, me too. This is going to be a great conversation. And this AI, as I call it, automated intelligence or artificial intelligence, is a fascinating tool and subject. And I want to ask you about this diligence in starting a business or scaling a business. Your journey from a 15-year product leadership career to entrepreneurship is pretty fascinating. What was that tipping point that made you decide to leave the security of the desk and the stable job and venture out on your own?
That's such a good question, and it always gets me every single time someone asks me. So I'll take you back to December 2023. It was December 15. We were about to go on a skiing trip, and I had my last call, and my family's out there waiting for me. And I just sighed just like I did. And I thought to myself, I wish I'd never have to do that again.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that was in me, and it was coming up for a long time, I just didn't realize it, or I did not have a way out. When you have a family, and then you're raising kids, and you also have this career clock, whatever you want to call it, everything is in parallel. And then on days you have to choose which one wins, and those days are not fun. And I had many, many days where when my kids were little, and then I was on someone else's calendar. And whenever I was asked to hop on calls, I would already have to be on calls. And it just, at some point in your life, especially in this age of technology, I think everybody has the skill set, and they also have the resources and the technology where you could build the type of life you want. And if I wasn't happy in working as a 9-to-5er for someone else, I just had to have a plan on what I would do instead. So I knew it was business. I just did not know what I wanted to sell. Right. So it came from a painful point of, I want freedom because I should be able to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and be with my kids because I'm not going to get these years back with them. And that was, so tipping point was December 15, 2023. And I didn't have a plan, but again, sometimes you just take that leap of faith and you're going to figure this out. And I think I did.
Oh, that's good. And it's interesting to think for the people that are coming up, whatever decade they might be in, to realize that the 9 to 5 is now an option. Being that 9 to 5er is not a have to. There's so many more options. And so I want to ask you about those aspiring entrepreneurs. Now, maybe they rush into starting a business without the proper groundwork. What essential preparation steps did you take before launching your AI automation business that you believe were critical to that early success?
Yeah. Um, I think I want to start with the idea that people stay in a 9 to 5 because it's predictable.
Yes.
Every end of the month, you know it's coming, your
Mm-hmm.
paycheck is
Yeah,
coming.
right.
The unpredictability, and that's the change that we're not used to. And that's why entrepreneurship seems hard. But I want to challenge that assumption for just one
Okay.
second, if you bear with me.
Yes.
They, you could get kicked out of that job tomorrow. So how is that secure?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's not predictability. It's just we have been wired to think that way because these are the stories we have been told.
Yeah.
So it's predictable at the end of the month, but at any second you could just let go of, right? Think about entrepreneurship though. In a 9 to 5, you get a 2%, 3%, 5% raise every year
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
if the company did
Yeah,
well,
right. Yes.
right? And
Yes.
that's based on so many factors.
Uh-huh.
So it's easy now, hard later. In entrepreneurship, it's hard now and easy later. And there is a reason because you're taking the risk early on.
Mm.
You're becoming the person who may be wearing marketing hat and then sales hat and then CEO hat and then director hat all at
Mm-hmm.
the same time. It's hard. It's going to be hard. But think about the person you will become if you keep doing that for 2 years, and then you're going to be unstoppable. And at that point, that's when I call predictability. Because in the first few months, you may make $0. But once you figure out what you are selling, and if
Uh-huh.
you're able to sell that offer manually to a person face to face, then you can use AI and automate and sell that at scale. But even without AI, if you
Uh-huh.
figure out you have a good offer, you have a target audience that you know they're going to buy, you just have to figure out how to sell it to them. That's
Uh-huh.
what I call predictability, because if you do it well, in 2 years, you could actually double your revenue and then
Wow.
you can go live on the beach.
Yeah. It's so fascinating to think that just like with a house or an apartment building or something that starts out with an architect's plan and then they dig the holes, lay the foundation, and the better job they do at that, the better they can build. And there is a verse in the Bible that says to write your goals down and make them plain so that you can actually run and you're not delayed, and that there's nothing's going to stop you because you've got a plan and you're working it. And I want to ask, in previous interviews that you've done, you've mentioned the importance of mindset, which is something we talk a lot about here at 5am podcast. It's probably one of our favorite topics just because it's so critical and important, much like writing our goals down. But how has your thinking evolved from being that employee to becoming what you call an AI first CEO?
That's such a good question. Thank you for asking that. So I discussed that with someone. I think the podcast is Habit Chess or
Mm-hmm.
something. They talked about we were talking about how when you don't even have to be running a business to have that mindset. If you are in a 9 to 5, and I don't want anybody to quit their job tomorrow because they
Right.
think they can do this,
Yeah.
um, you can bring in the same level of agency in your 9 to 5 and think about all the things you're doing on a daily basis that you don't enjoy. I
Mm-hmm.
want to challenge that. And then you figure out what is a better way to do this on a daily basis, even if my company is not adopting AI and they have no idea how to adopt AI.
Yeah.
What can I do? What am I doing on a daily basis and what can I delegate to AI? And then I can go upskill myself, and then I go do higher leverage tasks and I get paid more, and then I free up my time. That's how you start. So it starts with what parts in your life are you unhappy about, and not just unhappy, you cannot deal with them anymore. And if
Right.
they become non-negotiable for you, that's when we're talking that you're looking for a change, and you're gonna make that change because you're truly unhappy, right? And that's the difference between people who eventually succeed with the goals they have set on a piece of paper, is because their why is so strong.
Yeah.
On days when they wake up and it feels so hard and they don't want to take the action, they know their fears are smaller than their dreams, and then their dreams are bigger, and they just, as long as you have that why so clearly figured out, you are going to take an action. And that's the difference between anybody who achieves what they have set the goal for versus
Yeah.
people who don't. Because when things get hard, some people give up and they don't get back up, but people with a stronger why, they'll still continue to fight because there's no other way for them.
Thanks for watching the show. Just a reminder that you can get all of our resources, other episodes, and read our blog posts at 5ampodcast.com. Gold prices have historically risen during economic uncertainty. The time is now. Visit myinstantgold.com. Your children's financial future is too important to delay. Start their golden future at myinstantgold.com. That's right. And it has been said that don't think of it's not that the obstacles are in your way, the obstacles are the way.
And Ryan Holiday, and I love when he says that.
Yeah, yes. It's such a good quote. And I know I've really thought, okay, I need some mind renewal on that, because so often we get into the camp of thinking, oh man, dang it, I got another obstacle in my path. But there's so much value in that. So I want to ask you about, you've spoken about building businesses, and I love this question. Actually, I was really happy when I came up with this one. You've spoken about building businesses around the life you want, rather than maybe that traditional approach of fitting life around business. Can you walk us through your practical approach for designing your ideal life first and then building a business to support it?
Yeah. So think about this. We have more resources, more than ever, right? People are living a comfortable life, and then you go back, you want to question, why aren't they happy? Right? And then you go back and you go down the rabbit hole. It's because everybody thought, I'll be happy once I finish 10th grade. I'll be happy once I finish college, when I get a job, and then when I have kids, and when I retire. But if everybody's working towards retirement, what are you hoping to do when you retire? You are sacrificing all the things you could do today.
Yes.
So you can save that time, go work more, and then go retire. But when you retire, you don't have the same body. You don't have the same metabolism. You don't even have the same amount of energy that you want.
Right.
And if you lose that, what are you going to do with your time? So in this age of tech, again, AI or not AI, I think everybody has enough resources where if they have a laptop and then they have a Wi-Fi, they can go build any type of business. They can go sell from sitting in Africa to anybody who's sitting here. And as long as you're solving a problem, people would love to throw money at you. You just need to make sure that you're solving a problem that someone cares about. So again, we have the resources, and you can build a business you want. You just have to be mindful about where, as a CEO of your business, where are you spending your time today? Things that you do on a daily basis, do they light you up and they print you money? If they check both boxes, then you're doing something right with your life. And anything else that needs to be taken care of in your business, then you delegate it to either another person, you hire someone, or you put AI automations where the system can run on autopilot. So the thing what I'm trying to help people understand is you figure out a business model where you do XYZ and all the other things you can delegate to either a human or an AI automation. And then you only spend your time doing the things that you like, and you figure out certain hours of the day, and you learn the art of delegation, because it's such a beautiful concept. Once you learn it, you delegate strategically. That doesn't break your business. And
Yeah.
then you can live your life, and you're building the business that supports that lifestyle.
Yes. When I was preparing for our interview, I was thinking back when I was reading the E-Myth Revisited book about entrepreneurs and the big struggle of them thinking that they have to do every single thing and they're going to have to put in those 18 to 20-hour days. And the advisor comes along and says, no, you don't have to be chief cook and bottle washer. And so, what are uh, some of the tasks or some of the areas where AI automation could help a solopreneur right now?
Sure. And there are many in
Okay.
that sense.
Yeah.
What I like for people to understand is everybody's zone of genius is different.
Mm.
So I like talking, and that's why I'm on podcasts, because
Yeah.
it also helps the business. Plus, I also enjoy these conversations. If someone was forcing me to sit here for the sake of marketing, I would not do that for a very long time, right? I'm here because I enjoy, and the energy exchange that happens in a conversation, I just
Yes.
genuinely like it.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm freeing up my time so I can do more of this. And everybody needs to figure out what is a couple of things that they do for their business or in their business that helps them go longer without burning out. So for me, that's podcast is one, so conversations. And second is sales. I love sales, and my close rates are pretty good. So that's where I spend time. Plus, remember, that also prints me money, because if I close a sales call, then I've also made money for the business. So anything else, either fulfillment or creating marketing material or creating content, if it doesn't light me up, I delegate. And that's what I would ask everybody else to sort of take note of as well, is you figure out where your zone of genius is, and you keep that close to your heart, and then let everything else go. And in the meantime, so you delegate it strategically, you have to put SOPs and trainings in place. So when you hire someone, they can go follow steps ABC, and they can get to a predictable outcome. And once you have had that process that works manually, and you have the predictable outcome, then you go use AI and automations and have it run at 100x speed.
Right. So, to our listeners, I know that we would both love to hear some comments in our comments section, whether you're watching on YouTube or Spotify or Apple or goodpods.com, which is another great place people find us. But we would love to hear from you. Maybe talk a little bit about where you are on your entrepreneurship journey, or maybe you're looking to scale up. And I know that Arty would love to help you along the way, and we'll tell you how to get in touch with her a little bit later on in today's conversation. But we'd love to hear in the comments about where you're at with artificial intelligence, or as I call it, automated intelligence, and your pet projects and what lights you up. So, Arty, I want to ask you, as the first AI, or as the AI first CEO, how do you evaluate which new technologies are worth integrating into your workflow, which is versus ones that they might be interesting, but ultimately they're maybe a little distracting?
Oh, absolutely. So what I do for my business, and we have started doing for other businesses too, we offer them AI audits. What it does is, before you're ready for implementation, and your team is, of course, busy doing the other 100 projects that you have in your organization, we come in for 4 to 6 weeks, and then we evaluate how you're running your business today. We'll take a sneak peek at all the workflows, how things are getting done, starting from lead gen or a lead coming in your ecosystem, all the way to you converting them and then onboarding them and fulfilling, and then maybe put them on a retainer, right? all the workflows that happen in the middle of that process. And then we redesign, we score them first on how they are ready for AI adoption, and then we redesign them. And at the end, we give them a 50, 60 page report on what does the system look like today in your business and where could you go as the next step. So at the end of the report, I give them a scorecard on all the workflows, and then they also get the preferred list on if they were to go automate anything in their business tomorrow, where would I start? We would start with the low effort, highest ROI. That should be the first thing that you automate because you'll see the ROI quicker. Plus, it also doesn't break your bank and it also doesn't take a year of implementation. So I would start there and all the way down. The lowest on my preferred list are the workflows that will take the highest amount of effort and then they have the lowest ROI.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. And I know that you've mentioned that businesses often hit a growth ceiling because they lack the systems to support scaling up. So, what are a couple of the common bottlenecks you see when first working with a client, and then how do you address those?
Yeah, so a typical one would be how they are nurturing the leads. So you could have 1,000 leads coming to you every month, but not everybody's ready to buy. It's like 3% is ready to buy today. What are you doing for the rest of the 97%, right? So you need to have an automation in place which nurtures those leads on autopilot. That's where I think most of the leaks happen. But also, it could be as simple as if you're taking, say, 5 sales calls a week, which is 1 sales calls a week, and it's your lucky week, and everybody wants to have a proposal from you. So, how are you writing those proposals? Do you manually sit down and do each one of them? If you do, then you're easily spending a couple of hours on every proposal, and that's like 10 hours of your week is gone. That's 25% of your time. You can easily save that by automating that part of the business.
Right. Now, so how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so anybody who wants to know more of what we do, I would love for you to follow us on Instagram. And if you go on IG, my handle is Aarti Anand 82. If you hit follow and you DM me that you came from Michael's show, then I would love to send you our AI powered lead magnet, which is basically nothing in disguise, but a 3-minute quiz, which would tell you exactly where you're leaking your money in your business today and what that cost of inaction look like for your business for the whole year. And it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars because you're just not adopting AI right now. So if you go follow me, I'll send you that link, and then you can take that under 3 minutes quiz, and it's like an X-ray in your business.
That's good. And there's a lot of talk about that leaking money, and sometimes we just don't know that there is something, some time vampire or cash vampire that's taking those things out. How do you address maybe an objection of somebody saying, "Oh, well, we have Sally or Nancy sitting at the at doing X, Y, and Z really she's not providing, or he, let's say it's a guy, they're not providing a lot of tangible value. They're earning a paycheck, but it's kind of an entry level position." And people say, "Oh, well, what about them?"
Yeah. And that's a fair question. I get that a lot. And my usual reaction and response to that is every person who starts wherever they start in their career, every person has aspirations, they have
Yes.
goals, and you really have to sit down with them and ask them, your business is growing. How do they want to grow with your business with you?
Yeah.
And if
Right.
there is a synergy there, only then you are a good match for each other. And most likely, Lucy, Nancy, or
Yes.
whoever that is, they would like to do well in their career while also upskilling themselves. So I would put them their repetitive and boring tasks that they don't enjoy doing, I would let AI do it. So you free up their time and you get them trained on higher leverage tasks so they actually can be more useful in your business And
Yep.
if they are more useful, they are solving bigger problems. That
Mm-hmm.
also means your business is going to end up making more money. So it's for you, it's not for them.
Oh, it's got to be, I'm sure that it's a win-win, really, because, if those entry level people ebb and flow out of businesses, uh, we're not actually helping them to get better and bring more value and earn more income. And man, it's like trying to dig a hole without a shovel. I mean, when you see artificial intelligence or automated intelligence, as I call it, you realize that it's absolutely a tool that helps everyone, regardless of where they are in the corporate structure, execute better and maybe actually have more free time to work on themselves. And I know this is probably a lot of people, let's say business owners or people who look at the bottom line might not like this, but with automated intelligence, if you can actually free up time for your staff to do training, or even maybe they get 2 or 3 times a week, 90 minutes at the gym that's down the street. There's a lot of value that can be added from business owner to the staff. And
Exactly. And
yeah.
I always like to tell people, you get one life,
Hmm.
just don't, nobody wished they had more time to work.
Yeah, that's right.
People wish that they had more time to live and do the things that they wanted to do.
Yep.
And if you're not adopting today as the CEO of the business, then your
Mhm.
team is already falling behind because they look up to you as a leader.
Yeah.
You don't believe that you need to adopt, so you're also actually not helping them grow as well.
Uh-huh.
And so it's your moral responsibility to get out and get your knowledge gap filled. And once you see the power and the value, and even if your team resists, you start with a simple automation that helps their life
Hmm.
easier.
Yeah.
And if it does, then you go and, you attack bigger problems.
Right. Yeah. So I have this other question for you then. So business owners, they're listening in, they're considering maybe like it's rolling around in their brain. And we know people need to hear things like 11 to 17 times before they make that decision. And maybe this is time 15 or 12. What's that most impactful first workflow that they should automate to see an immediate return on investment?
Yeah. So I like to qualify admin work as the lowest, it's the lowest hanging fruit in your business.
Mm.
It's not serving you well. Any task that's a $10 task, you need to automate it. So you can go solve bigger problems that
Mhm.
get you paid $1,000 an hour. So
Yeah.
admin is the first thing you need to automate and delegate.
Wow. Fascinating. Well, that unfortunately that brings us to the end of our conversation. Arty, I've got to thank you so much for being here today. This has been great.
Absolutely. I had such a fun conversation. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, yes, it was my pleasure. And so, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, what a conversation. I would like to remind you, too, that Arty has a website. So, if you're a business owner looking to put your workflows on that delightful autopilot, but you're not sure where to start, you need to head over to her website. So, we'll have that in the show notes. You can go take a look at that and book a time slot to chat. And it's, from me to you, definitely want to look into this because I know for us doing 5 a.m. podcast, we rely on our AI staff significantly to get the work done that we need to get done. And so I want to thank you, viewers, for joining us today, for listening in on this conversation. If you haven't already, please help us grow the channel with a like, share, and a subscribe. And of course, those 3 friends I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm pretty sure they'd love to hear this episode. So one more thing, if you can give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast player, we would appreciate that. And of course, thanks to our friends that have gone over to buymeacoffee.com/5am podcast and helped us out with a few virtual cups of coffee this week and last. We do appreciate all levels of support. So until next time, please seize your day, enjoy those sunrises and sunsets and all those adventures in between. I'm Michael Klassen. Thanks for watching the show. Just a reminder that you can get all of our resources, other episodes, and read our blog posts at 5ampodcast.com. Gold prices have historically risen during economic uncertainty. The time is now. Visit myinstantgold.com myinstantgold.com and secure your family's future with your first gold purchase at myinstantgold.com.